Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blue Steel Manifestation. So, exciting reading today. I wanted to do something related to the law of attraction and manifesting. So, I'm going to focus on the magician. So, the magician here, and I always feel like I struggle, and when saying magician, is it magician, magician? All right. So, a couple of things about the magician. If you're familiar with the tarot, you know that this is the first card really in the major arcana. So it's number one, and the magician is all about creation, right? So it's the beginning. It's number one. It's starting new. It's right after follows the fool, which is zero. This is all about creating, and you've got all the powers and magic within you to create whatever it is that you desire. So if you look at the magician, he's got his hand up in the air, so it's like he's commanding and controlling the power. He has on the table in front of him, he has a cup, he has a pentacle, he has a sword, and he has a rod. So he has everything he needs. And hovering above his head, in the yellow, is the infinity symbol. So, again, and he's cloaked in like orange, and he's cloaked in red, and he's wearing a white, so kind of symbolizing purity, creation, all of that sort of thing. It does look like he's inside of like almost like a castle tower or something. The way these kind of, I don't know what these are. These pillars kind of rise up on either side of him. And there's obviously an abundance. It's not lost to me that there's lilies here. I always think of like Easter when I think of lilies, kind of like the beginning, the rebirth, the beginning, as they might say in Christianity, when we think of Easter. So the magician, again, is all about creation. So when you see this card come up in a reading, it typically means that, hey, you have all the power within you. You create your own reality, your thoughts, ideas, what you think about yourself, your self-concept. This is what is really creating your imagination. If you listen to Neville Goddard, he talks a lot about imagination. And imagination is creating your world. And your exterior world, what's going on in your environment, your 3D reality, is a reflection of your thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and self-concept. In other words, what is going on inside your mind. So I want to think about something that we strongly wanted to manifest in our lives. What's something that you really want to create? I'm going to put this down here. We're going to kind of build out on either side of the magician card itself. So we're going to think about something that you personally want to manifest, whether it's a new job, whether it's a new vehicle, whether it's a stronger, better, new relationship with your partner, whatever it might be. And it could be something as simple as like you just want to simply manifest a weekend or a trip to Europe or whatever it is. We're going to pull a handful of cards and we're going to ask a couple of questions. So, part of manifesting is kind of being focused and living in the end, assuming you've already got whatever it is you desire, right? And Neville talks a lot about that. I can certainly get into that if people have more insights and questions about it. But we first want to focus on it's all about your focus. So we want to talk about what could be a distraction for you. And then we're going to transition into what can help keep you focused. And then what can help make this go smoothly. And then the overall guiding energy for whatever it is. So hopefully you've got something in your mind. Let's just jump right into it with what could be a source of distraction for you. Okay, so the devil. This is a great card for a distraction. Definitely something we'll circle back on. What can help keep you focused on whatever it is you desire? The Four of Wands. I love that. How can this go smoothly? How can this manifestation go more smoothly? Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands. And then what's the overall guiding energy here? Wow, the Lovers. Okay, so a couple of things. I mean, I obviously pulled the Magician card, right? But we have four other cards here on the table. And two of them are major arcana cards, the Devil and the Lovers. So really interesting to kind of see that kind of pop out here. So when we talk about being distracted, hey, the Devil is all about that. It's all about this is all about those, I don't want to say impure thoughts, but it's usually kind of like, what are the chains that are holding us back? What are the limitations within our mind? It could be the limitations. So I think what could be holding you back from manifesting whatever it is that you want is you might feel like you don't deserve it. You might feel like it's not something that you can achieve, right? So if it's like a higher salary, or if it's a six-figure salary or something else, you might be like, that's outside of my reach, okay? So this could be the impure thoughts that's kind of holding you back. It could also be like a preoccupation with something that just isn't good for you, right? It might not be a good thing for you or whatever it is. It's something that you're thinking about that's kind of keeping you from being focused on whatever it is that you're desiring, right? So this could be a relationship, right? This could be a relationship that's like a toxic. So there could be something like that's toxic in your life. So evaluate that. Evaluate your limiting beliefs, because you do deserve everything that you desire. You can have it. You just need to be. You need to believe that you deserve it too, and it's possible for you to have it. Okay. So sometimes we put these limitations in our world. We have imposter syndrome, where we think like, I'm not good enough to be a vice president of this, or I'm not good enough to start like a YouTube channel, or I don't know enough about. We tend to go down that like, that imposter syndrome, where it's like, we could do this, but we are not good enough. Okay. So a couple of things, you want to be mindful of there, right? So when we think about like, how can you stay focused? I mean, hey, this is all about, this is living in the end, right? So the Four of Wands, typically a marriage card, right? So if that's kind of what if marriage is something you're trying to manifest here, a solid relationship, one of the things that Neville always talks about is like living in the end. So, hey, this is the marriage. So you know what, maybe as you drift off to sleep, or you're doing a meditation, kind of envision what that marriage or what that wedding might look like, and kind of picture yourself there with your ideal person, right? Because here's what happens is when we start doing that, we start thinking from the end, we start living in that, you're not only kind of channeling that positive energy within you, and you feel really good when you're doing it, but you're also kind of preparing your subconscious mind and your body, and kind of getting it drilled into your mind that, hey, this is possible. And then your subconscious mind will look for ways to kind of make that available and happen in your 3D reality. So we're also kind of beat down that that is not going to happen for me. I'm probably not going to achieve X. I'm probably not going to get married anytime soon, whatever the case might be. We kind of beat that down when we start living more in the end, because our mind starts to accept it as true, and it's something that's very possible, right? So you're kind of breaking down that hurdle. So I think if you can remain focused on like, what is it that you really want, but also focus on why you want it. Like, what is the feeling you hope to experience in achieving whatever it is that you desire. So if it's a relationship, it could be the emotional fulfillment, the excitement of being with somebody who understands you, who shares interests and passions with you, someone who is physically attractive to you, and how does that make you feel? And if you experience and think about those feelings, that can really carry you quite far. Okay, so something that'll make it go smoothly. This is the Knight of Wands is kind of like, again, kind of focusing on like the end state. Like, he's almost at the finish line. He's almost there. He hasn't given up. So this is all about like just being persistent, but also not necessarily taking stock of everything going around you. So I think when I look at this card in this particular scenario, I'm looking at him and he's looking straight ahead. He isn't looking at everything going on the sidelines here. So although you might have been hurt in the past, and again, these are all kind of like intuitive things that I'm just sharing in my mind. So what can make it go smoothly is, focus on the end state, focus on where you're going, and focus on the desire, right? And the feeling of that desire, and having that desire, and tell yourself that you already have it. Say that you are it. Say that you are in that job, that you are that particular partner in a satisfying, exciting, and fulfilling relationship. Don't necessarily pay attention to all the past hurts, to anything going on outside of you that would say, reaffirm to you that this isn't possible for you, okay? So that'll make it go much smoother, to be very honest with you. And that's something Neville Goddard, Joe Dispenza, they all talk about this. Abraham Hicks, they all talk about this quite a bit. So the guiding energy is the Lovers. So hey, the Lovers is a wonderful card to have. I mean, this is all about that partnership. So, that love. And so when you feel the love and excitement within you, you will channel more of that again. So again, focus more on the positive emotions and feelings. This guiding energy, this is a positive vibe. So, if you are looking for love, I mean, I feel like these two cards here are saying, hey, it's very possible. Live in the end state. Imagine your wedding. Imagine that feeling of being with that person, whether it's a male, female, whoever it is, whether you know this person or you don't know this person. Just envision it, feel it, be there, because when you start to really feel it, like this is a very possible thing if you remain focused. And then the more love that you feel within yourself, the more love you feel for yourself, the more you're able to spread that love to others, the more that'll be reflected back to you, okay? That's one of the core components of law of attraction, law of assumption, everything that Neville Goddard and company speak about. So again, like the world reflects back to us what we are within ourselves. So as you feel this inside of you, you will see more of that reflected. So thank you for being here today. Hope you got something out of this. Drop any questions or comments down below, and I'll be back again soon.